Hey guys, it's Skymer here, and welcome back to another episode of Triangle Strategy. In the last episode, we spoke with Exham and Lila about a particular purple crystal known to them as the Aelfric, that has insanely devastating amounts of power, but at what cost? Lila has told us to not use them on people, or that at least they're not meant to be used on people. So I need to figure out whether or not that I'm going to use it, and if I do use it on what or who. Because I have no idea what to expect. We also had a very, very strange heart-to-heart between Avlora and Cordelia, where it seems like Avlora's been put in quite the pickle, because she can't not tell Gustadolf about Cordelia's plans of taking him down and laying him low, because she is his right-hand woman. However, well, as general, I would mean. But if she refuses the Queen's orders, she could be seen as a traitor and lose her title as general. So I feel so bad for her, because no matter who she picks in that situation, it's gonna go downhill for her. And I know that she came after me, but it was only by the Archduke's command. And to be honest with you, it's really all Gustadolf's plans at all. Avlora just attempts her best to see them through. And she has done so many, many, many times. And then the one time that she fails, Gustadolf is just like, yeah, I guess you're just nothing to me now. Because he has been treating her like shit for so many episodes. I mean, it is so apparent. I just feel so bad for her. My heart is actually beating with hers right now, just because with a lot of empathy at the very least, just because I feel so bad for what she's been going through and what her past has been too. However, speaking of very foreboding things, we have another conviction choice to make today about the Aelfric. The party decides how to use the new weapon gifted to them by Hyzant.
I apologize, but are you suggesting we destroy the dam around Telior Reservoir to start a flood?
The capital city was built on the banks of the Norzelia River. Breaking the dam surrounding Lake Telior upstream will allow us to submerge a majority of the city. Flooding the town will throw their army into disarray, which should allow us to take the place by storm.
Lake Telior is a man-made reservoir. You might be able to burst through with a blast crystal.
Huette scouted the area earlier and reported seeing very few sentries. Proof enough that this is outside the Archduke's calculations.
No. The damage will be too great. The means would not justify the end, Benedict.
We cannot afford to lose.
I agree with Roland. There is already far too much blood on our hands. Perhaps it's worth speaking with the people and gaining their understanding.
Unless we reclaim Glenbrook, it's unlikely they'll understand or support our actions. We must take the capital back and show our strength and resolve first.
So that means you stand by Benedict then?
If we have a sure shot at winning, we need to take it. No matter the consequences. We can't lose the war. We just can't.
Telior Reservoir is the kingdom's water source. The dam was constructed to protect the people from floods. I doubt they would ever forgive us should we choose to destroy it for war.
Glenbrook thrives because of that water, and to use it otherwise is inexcusable. Brute strength isn't the only way to reclaim the city. We can strike at night and defeat their commanding officers. There are ways to slip into the castle unseen.
If you have used it before, there is a chance it has been sealed off since.
There is more than one route. You needn't worry.
So you mean not to use the blast crystal?
No, I do. After we sneak in, we can sink Esfrost's warship. It would close off their escape route.
Our first priority should be ensuring the people's safety. We cannot allow them to be taken hostage. It would restrict our options as well.
She's got a point. But how do we take the capital back after that?
We could use the blast crystal to destroy the bridge connecting the town and the castle. The enemies would be stuck within the walls.
That would certainly mitigate the damages to the citizens. If we encircle the castle, we could negotiate with them.
We could ask them to yield, free Glenbrook, and re-establish the trade between our nations. I am certain we can find a way to make both parties agree.
Negotiate.
I understand your thoughts and the wishes held therein.
Allow me to ask once more. Shall we shatter the dam around Lake Telior and flood the town?
Sneak in under the guise of night, sink their ships, and slay their commanding officers? Or destroy the bridge, safeguard the people, and negotiate with the enemy? Fetch the scales. It is time we decide our path.
We now have 3 paths before us, each with its own merits and shortcomings. But which one will lead House Wolford to victory? Oh my gosh, we have 3 choices here. Oh my word. Alright, so destroy the bridge and trap the enemy in the castle, then negotiate, which is Frederica and Gila. Destroy the dam and wash away the troops in the Crown City, is Benedict and Anna. Infiltrate the castle, launch a surprise attack, and destroy the duchy's warship, which is Roland and Huette, and Eridor is the one who is undecided. Okay, so I am so... Okay, so let me go over my initial thoughts before we go and talk about anything more in depth. So, off my first-hand thought, I really like Roland's opinion, because Roland said that the route that we specifically used to get into the castle when we stormed it in Chapter 5, when we had to protect Roland and get him to that one area all the way towards the capital's throne room, Benedict said that that area would be closed off, but there are many other ways. I suppose it's possible that they could have sealed off the rest, but I mean, we only used one route to get into that castle. The chances of them knowing all of them are slim to none. And launching a surprise attack is exactly what Aesfrost did to Glenbrook initially. They launched a swift assault against them without them knowing, and that's what let them gain the upper hand. And destroying the duchy's warship has many benefits, because not only... I mean, yes, it could harm a lot of people from Glenbrook and Aesfrost to destroy the warship, but chances are, if we are to go at night, chances are there wouldn't be many people on the vessel because they're preparing to use that warship for battle. It's not like they're actually going out right now for the castle. Because if that's the case, we can use the blast crystal for that specifically. Okay, and then on to my opinion on Frederica Gila. Destroying the bridge and trapping the enemy, I really like this idea because it does force them into a corner. If we destroy the bridge, we give away their only means of escape. The problem is the warship. The warship still provides them in a way to be able to flee. Even if they can't get to, even if they are in, if we trap them in the castle, there may be ways for them to access the warship. There might be other means to be able to get them to escape. And negotiating isn't always going to bear fruit, unfortunately. Sometimes negotiating has worked, and sometimes it hasn't. I felt like the only way that it worked with the Roselle was because of the factor that Hyzant was already on their way to our door. So the Roselle were forced to, go with that plan, to trust us. Destroying the dam looks like a very effective way to be able to decrease the amount of people that we have to deal with inside the castle. The problem is, it really hurts Glenbrook in terms of their water source, because as we know right now, Whiteholm Castle is under S-Frost's control. And as we know, S-Frost has also ceased all salt trade to Glenbrook as well. So, if that is the case, there is a serious problem. Because not only are they not going to have salt, they don't have access to water, and their entire castle town is flooded. So, I don't know about persuading towards Benedict and Anna's idea. I do see it as being less troops that we might have to deal with, but launching a surprise attack also means that we might be in a better position if we happen to go in. So, I mean, I was totally expecting that we were just gonna blow up the castle walls, to be honest. I wasn't thinking about the bridge. I was literally just thinking about the castle, but, so I don't really know. I mean, I'm guessing that what we could do is we go in for the fight, then destroy the bridge, so we can trap them in the castle so they have no way of fleeing, but still, I feel like we would have to fight a lot of people. Right now, as of this very moment, I am thinking of infiltrating the castle at night. It's very possible that this could be a huge downfall, but Roland also knows, being one of the princes of the castle, and we also don't know if S-Frost truly knows about Roland's true identity. They're still under the guise that he's dead. So they probably didn't seal much else off, considering that they think he's dead, so nobody else would know about it except for Cordelia. But Cordelia is the queen, and she's kind of been seen to Gussadolf as a figurehead. So we just need to see where things go. Can I go to the town? Yes! Let me go back to my friends in the city streets. Yes, please. It has been a moment, and it has been a very long minute since I have seen them. So let's go ahead and talk to these people and gain some items while we're at it.
I heard that Aelfric is still in development, and only a few people are privy to its details. According to the rumors, its blast could blow a hole straight through a castle wall. Could we really use such a thing in battle?
Aelfric is still in development? Are they hoping to use this battle to test its powers? There's a chance we're exposing the people to greater danger than we thought. We must consider its placement very carefully. You've learned about the Aelfric blast crystals. This is the thing too, it is still in development. Though capable of producing powerful explosions, Aelfric blast crystals are still under development, and thus exceedingly difficult to deploy with any degree of precision. Preventing unanticipated damage requires careful thought on where to position it. Okay. If I'm thinking of a warship versus a bridge would much more likely be suitable to blow it up, right? Because the bridge is much wider. We've been on that bridge before. It's a massive bridge. However, killing off the warship would be such a boon, because it also prevents them. Because if we remember, Hyzant has that big river that goes through before it enters into the desert region. So it's very possible that they need that warship. Do they need that warship to deploy the cannon? Quite possibly they do, because deploying such a heavy thing, if we destroy their warship, it also prevents their cannon from probably going through. I mean, lugging that big ass thing around, what? You're gonna need like a third of your army just to carry that damn thing. So I don't know exactly the weight of it, but if we're thinking about medieval times cannons, come on. That thing's gonna be heavy as shit, and we all know it. Okay, let's talk to this man here.
Lord Serenoa, you've been out and about quite often lately. Is something amiss? I can't help but notice the comings and goings of Hyzant's soldiers, too. Something about it bodes ill.
My dude, I do know that Hyzant is known for their, deceitful methods. Cough, cough, the friggin' Aelfric crystal. But, we're friends at the current time. So, I hope that they don't do anything to harm us, but we are in a very strong alliance with them right now, so I would consider the effects of that to be quite low, especially when they're giving us such a powerful weapon to use. I mean, I don't think that they just give that to just anyone, right?
Lord Serenoa, we've returned from scouting the capital. The Crown City is teeming with Esfrosty soldiers, and it appears that a second force led by General Avlora is defending Whiteholm Castle. So Esfrost has soldiers stationed throughout the city and around the castle, the latter led by General Avlora no less. I doubt a full frontal attack would work to our favor. This is definitely worth considering when making our strategy.
You learned about the occupied Crown City. This is definitely what I was worried about. I mean, Telior might not have a lot, but yeah, they're going to defend their biggest place. Scouts bring back word that the duchy has split its large forces between the Crown City and Whiteholm Castle, with General Avlora in charge of holding the latter. Taking the city in a head-on assault would be nigh impossible.
Oof.
I mean, okay, but if we are successful in infiltrating the castle, right? Okay, because this says... Okay, let me go over this again. Sorry. Where is it? Oh, my life. The occupied Crown City. Between the Crown City and the castle. But if we infiltrate the castle, then, and we have another way to get in, then wouldn't we just be avoiding the city altogether? Which means we have one less battle. Because if we destroy the bridge is just the entry to the castle. So if we destroy the bridge and trap the enemy in the castle, then we're going to be dealing with the city and we're still going to be dealing with the castle. We're just preventing them from escaping it. So, I mean, the city and the castle themselves are still going to be very much so, in a whole issue with that. So Frederica and Gila might be swayed if we can attempt to tell them that maybe that's not such a great idea. Hello, Milo. I'm so happy that we actually got your name. I mean, but I'm very skeptical of her because Anna was too. She was like, she sounds like a Hyzantian spy. On one end, it sounds like that she's going to be very useful because she's just going to be another place, I see something sparkling down here. Hang on, it's distracting me. What? Okay, hold that thought. That was crazy. But the reason why I consider it beneficial is because now we have two spies because of how much that Hyzant is looking after us. But then again, I still know that Hyzant is shady. There's no doubt about it. This could be a ploy, I know, but at the same time, they were all I had to fall back on. So, let's go ahead and talk to her.
Lord Serenoa, I shall accompany you wherever you go. I'm sure my knowledge of Aelfric will be of great service to you.
Well, then tell me about it. I mean, I guess you did a little bit during the time, because she said that it wasn't meant to be used on people. So, yeah, I mean, it sounds like the warship would be better to destroy, but it sounds like with its less precision opportunity, it sounds like that maybe it can't even hit it, which would suck. I swear if that thing falls in the water and the warship is still destroyed, then what have we really done? But then again, destroying the bridge makes us sound like that we have to take on a whole military force, which, our little army that's been in shambles for a while, I don't know if we're going to be able to compete with that.
My uncle's a soldier, but he's always busy these days. I haven't been able to talk to him at all.
I'm sorry, kid. My gosh, the children of this village, they are just dealing with the worst of it, aren't they? Poor guys. I just feel so bad for them. I definitely shed many tears for them. Why can't you do anything except for sleep? This is the only thing that you ever do. How is sleep contributing to anything? Fine. Alright, we will stop by, the merchant here, because I know the merchant might be able to give me more materials, because Lionel's been running out because he's a bad merchant. No, I'm just kidding. A wind amulet. Okay, that sounds like we're gonna be dealing with some wind magic soon. I'm kind of glad that I bought the lightning amulet now and not the wind amulet, because I bought one of the lightning amulets in anticipation that Eridor was gonna get struck with thunder magic.
After the duchy made their declaration, the Holy State stopped shipping salt. Merchants can no longer trade salt in the capital either. Oh man, I mean, Hyzan just shut off everything. They can be quite self-centered when it comes to their salt. A black anklet. Ooh, the red anklet was the one that increased my strength and magic attack, right? So, what does this one do? Is it just defensive? Increases strength, magical attack, physical defense, and magic defense, but deals damage to you at the start of your turn. How much, though? How much, though? This sounds really good. I mean, I could see this being on almost any unit, to be honest, but that sounds like it comes with a lot of potential problems. I should give the Resurrection Earring to somebody. I'm thinking Eridor, because Eridor might actually be pretty good at, but I also think Gila could really benefit from it, right? Like, if she ends up getting killed, she can just come back. Which would be good. I don't know. But Eridor I have so commonly on my front lines, and sometimes I honestly I'm stupid and I just walk into a mage's range with him. Sometimes it's unavoidable if I want to kill somebody. If that's becoming a threat to another unit, but you know what? I guess for now we'll put the Resurrection Earring on him. Yeah, there you go. We got Eridor wearing an earring, guys. That's what our world has come to. As well as for this, I feel like that this could be going to a unit. Oh man, because I don't know how much damage this is talking about, but it could be really effective on a unit that is commonly on the front lines, but maybe not all the time on the front lines. Maybe like Huette? Ooh, I could see it maybe going to Huette, because depending on the battle circumstance, she might be out of range of a lot of things that happen, because a lot of units can't get to her when she's taking the high ground. And doesn't she have a skill coming up that's magical? I thought that she did, but let's just try giving it to her. Just for now. I mean, I can change these up at any time.
My niece came back from the Crown City. She said there are more Frosty soldiers than ever now.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Concentrating the enemy into your biggest stronghold. I mean, it's only logical. I mean, come on. It would be a fool's errand to divide your forces that much, you know? Alright, I'm just checking every house, because you never know when something could be there. Oh, while I'm actually in this house, I need to go to the notes. I'm so glad that I remembered that, because there was a Roland Wanted poster. By order of the Archduke, I, Gustadolf S. Frost, Archduke of the Grand Duchy of S. Frost, hereby order the arrest of His Royal Highness Prince Roland of the Kingdom of Glenbrook. The prince is 20 years of age, gold of hair, and blue of eye. He has in his possession a ring bearing the insignia of the royal family. Whomsoever captures the prince and delivers him to duchy officials unharmed will be rewarded with a sum of 100,000 coin. Holy moly. Gustadolf, you rich. You're rich. You're rich. You're rich as you are stupid. And that's really saying something, because you rich as shit. But I mean, this is a little bit perplexing for this to be found in the Wolffort domain. Considering that we're still part of Glenbrook, thank you, which makes me think that somebody that was shady was either in our town right now, or was in our town at some point. Not great to think about.
I came here hoping to bring my aunt to live with me in the capital. Frost's invasion took me by surprise, but life's been easier since. We can enjoy freedom of trade and no longer have to give offerings to the crown.
It seems the people living in the Crown City aren't suffering as much as I thought they'd be.
You learned about the people of the Crown City. Interesting. Okay, let's read about this a little bit more in depth. According to the people who live in the Crown City, anyone can now freely engage in trade without first seeking a writ from the royal family. Life under the duchy's rule, they say, isn't all that bad, In fact, it seems to have improved in some ways. Yeah, just wait. Just wait, people. Gustave got other plans. Everything that he does has an ulterior motive. He wants to bring in the people to make them trust him and Cordelia, but then he's going to enact his own government symbols underneath that. He wants to use Cordelia to be able to implore this whole idea to the people that he's a good person. But as I remember the scene happening, that's why I'm saying this, because Gustave said, I'm going to basically sneak another type of governmental order underneath the carpet. So, these people might be happy for now, but how long are they going to be happy before Gustave changes shit up, like he always does? The scouts we sent to the capital returned not a moment ago. Our preparations are continuing apace, but I worry about sharing the field with the Byzantine troops. Yeah, I mean, I can understand that from his perspective, but I feel like I can trust them quite well, considering that I do have quite a bond with them so far, and we have a common enemy, because Esfrost broke their treaty and their trade from them, so I can imagine that they wouldn't trust them either. So, wait, was there something sparkling around that little pot in there? Or is that... No, that's just the fire. That's just the fire. I'm just getting curious, because I want as much as I can get to prepare for this. My reserves are still stocked, but I do not know how long that will last. The Duchy's trade embargo has me worried, to say the least. That's why we're going to attempt to try to take him out and reclaim Glenbrook, so you can get back to that life that you would wish to live. A little bit more hastily, if possible. Okay, so let's see what this merchant has for sale, because generally they have something very unique in it. Extra large recovery pellet. Oh my gosh, that probably cures for a lot. A large HP, ranged HP recovery pellet, that's great. I'll probably take a few more of these. For sure. I kind of want to take one of these too, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, these would be so good on the Piccoletta. Can you imagine the Piccoletta chucking a giant ranged fireball at these people with her skill to increase the damage of those things? The range is 0 to 3. Okay, so it's 6 range with Piccoletta. That's pretty cool. You know what? I might even buy one off you. I'm gonna buy a Firestone one, and I'm gonna buy an Ice Stone one. Thank you, sir. I might buy another Ice Stone, but I think since I have 2 ranged Ice Stones, I think I'm pretty good on that. We have large Thunderstones and large Windstones, which I already have ranged Windstones, but I do not have a large Thunderstone. But I really haven't been using them very much. And the effect only spreads on water, so the Thunderstones might be useful at particular times, but... Oh, I probably need more of these for Medina, so I'm gonna buy some more of these. Evasion spices might be good, but I'm really not a big fan of them, to be honest. I could see myself decreasing enemy accuracy, though. So let's do that. We have the rings. Increase invasion by 3, increases speed by 2. That's pretty good. Oh man, these are all so good. I want them all. But you have so much to sell me, and I don't have really all that much money. I might buy the quality fiber off of you, the quality timber off of you. I'll buy some stone. I am running low on money. I mean, I do have a battle to prepare for, so I'm gonna be able to get a lot of money back, but... I might buy one of these too, because that might be useful to make tiles flammable, because that might be really good for Frederica. Alright, let's go ahead and talk to the people that are going to be for our convictions. Since the fall of houses Falks and Tellior, many of their people have fled here to Wolfort. And refugees from the Crown City have also come to live within our domain. It is not uncommon to hear of fights breaking out between them and the people of Wolfort. What should we do, my lord? Our domain can only support so many people. why not convince them to look to Hyzant for refuge? Wow, what a great thing to ask. These people have nowhere else to go. We will accept them with open arms. We must prioritize the happiness of our people. To do so, we must regrettably ask the more problematic individuals to leave. Okay, but that's not right either. They've had it hard too. House Fawkes is completely obliterated. They're gonna have nowhere to go, okay? You're basically asking these people to go into a life where they don't have anything. They don't have a roof over their head. They have minimal access to food. No, absolutely not. Look, if fights break out, man, I mean, that is life of society, okay? People, and these people probably are already more emotional because of their lives that they've lived for the recent while, okay? It's very easy for emotions to get the better of you. We're agreeing to help them. I'm sorry. I can't tell them to leave or look to Hyzant. That's not my call. That would be Hyzant's call. No. Very well, my lord. But I should warn you that our domain's resources will soon run dry. And the people's discontent continues to grow. I understand, but before either of those reach their limit, I shall bring Esfrost to its knees. Understood, my lord. Leave the issue of the refugees to us. Thank you. Because if I can reclaim Glenbrook, they're gonna have another place to stay anyway. That was a good point to bring up. Exactly. If we can take them out, then we bring back a huge property. I know that's a big if, but we're gonna have to try, especially with the Archduke away.
My lord, how is your father doing? The people are worried. We haven't heard any tidings of his health for some time now.
I regret to tell you that his condition remains unchanged. I only wish there were some magic elixir to see him back to health. My father's name carries great weight even now. There's no way we would lose him, not when we need him most. I appreciate your concern, but you needn't worry. My father is the strongest man I've ever known. Doubtless he'll be back on his feet in no time. This feels like giving false hope, because I know that people can be in huge pain and still recover, but he's been like that for so long now. And to say, oh, you know, I'm sure that he'll be up sooner or later, you know, it could make her say, like, well, you know, clearly something's very wrong. And seeing if there was, like, I mean, I don't know, this sounds like the honest response, just because it's true. His health has not really changed for the better. But at the same time, he does have, like, occasional moments where he wakes up just for a little bit, or he makes little sounds and little gestures and stuff, but that's pretty much it. I mean, but to say that you wish there was some magic elixir, I don't know if I trust a magic elixir. That sounds like Hyzantian stuff. And I don't know how much I trust this magic elixir, if that's what we're talking about. Man, this is a tough call, actually. But I don't know. I mean, this could also just be seen as like, well, I just wish that I could just see him back to health right now. I don't know. My father's name carries great weight even now. There's no way we would lose him, not when we need him most. I mean, there's really no way to guarantee that either, to tell them that. I think I'm gonna go with this one.
You know, I remember seeing Lord Simon on the day you were born. He held you in his arms like you were the greatest treasure in all the realm, and announced that he had been blessed with a healthy baby boy.
Father.
Lord Serenoa, if there is anything that can see your father back to health, it would be knowing that you have done a splendid job in his stead. So please continue working hard. That man would no doubt wait to praise his only son for a job well done.
Thank you. Neither my father nor I could ask for a better people. Isn't that... This woman right here, she has been the highlight of this town. The absolute highlight. I love her so much. I mean, that is exactly like... I almost feel like that sometimes when I voice out these characters, I put myself in their shoes, and this is such a beautiful conversation because, you know, to see your parents go through pain and, you know, be in emotional situations. I mean, it can break a child's heart to see a parent suffer, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, any one of those things, and more. But at the same time, you know, just hearing those words of just seeing like, well, your father would be proud, just, you know, despite what happens, he would be proud of you. And those are very powerful words. Such a sweet message. What a great character. All right, well, I'm gonna do one last loop around, and then we'll head back to the discussion room. Okay, well, I made one very thorough check, so I think we are all good to go. Back to the discussion room. Right now, let's go ahead and talk to everybody first. Gotta take it slow, get everybody's opinions first, to hear everything more in depth. So let's go ahead and start with our first one, to destroy the bridge, trap the enemy in the castle, and then attempt to negotiate with them.
Serenoa.
A nation cannot exist without a people. We cannot risk exposing those very people to any more hardship than they have already endured. If we explode the bridge, we can isolate the castle, the people we spared from our battle.
Okay, so she's basically saying that we don't... Okay, so no matter what we go with, Frederica, once again, is not changing her mind. I hate to feel like I'm going against her again, because, I mean, so she is allowing the idea of using the crystal, because they're saying to explode the bridge. It's just, I don't know, something tells me that if we explode the bridge, I mean, I guess we can use the hidden way out of the castle, but we're just, I mean, if we don't negotiate well enough, we're in it. We're in deep trouble.
Ah, yes?
Benedict's plan gives us our surest path to victory, but would incur great damages to the capital. And Prince Roland's plan is far too dangerous a gamble. Call me naive, but I believe Frederica's plan to be the best for all of us.
Okay, negotiating may yet prove fruitful. Okay, so she is she can potentially be persuaded. Okay. Next up, let's talk about the destroy the dam, because they did say that destroying the dam would actually be quite easy, considering that it doesn't have many Frosty soldiers, but how many are really there? Just because Huette said that there's not many ones there, we also know that S-Frost is very capable of being able to create surprise attacks, so we really don't know where they're hiding, but they could easily be hiding around.
My lord.
Negotiating would only grant the enemy reprieve, and there is a high chance that Queen Cordelia has revealed the secret tunnels to the enemy. But we would most certainly deal a heavy blow to the Esfrosty forces by flooding the city. Okay, so Benedict, once again, is not going to be able to be persuaded either way. And I do agree with this. This is very effective. I mean, but we would also be destroying a huge part of our home. And we also have to recommend that if we destroy the city and we flood it, things are going to be damaged almost permanently. I mean, some of it might be able to be rebuildable, you know, and replaceable, but the factor remains that if we want to give our, especially other people from Glenbrook that are in from House Fawkes and Tellior, we need to give them a safe place to reside. And if we give them a flooded city, how is that any better than the life that they've lived up to this point?
Yes, sir?
The enemy may already be aware of the tunnels, but no one is anticipating a flood. The capital is swarming with Frosty soldiers. We must prepare ourselves to make sacrifices if we are to reclaim the city.
Okay. I mean, yes, I do believe that the secret passages could be really good, because we could also divide our forces. So, I mean, and we have a very big key. Roland's dead. So I don't know why would Cordelia go to the extent of talking about secret tunnels? I suppose maybe she could have. because maybe since the Archduke is dead, since the Archduke believes Roland is dead, sorry. Since the Archduke believes that Roland is dead, and Cordelia is potentially very aware of this as well. I'm thinking that the chances are minimal that she would say something so dear to her particular castle. And plus, if she felt that she was in danger, couldn't she use those anyway? Why would you give them that type of information? Alright, now let's go with the infiltrating the castle strategy with Roland and Huette.
Say.
Flooding the city will leave the people with nowhere to live, and Frederica's plan hinges on how the enemy responds. We can win if we sneak into the castle and slay the Frosty commanders. Only Cordelia and I are privy to the secret passages. Okay. So he cannot be convinced to destroy the dam, which makes sense, but he can be swayed, potentially. We can win if we sneak into the castle, slay the Frosty commanders. Okay, so because that would be... Because if we infiltrate the castle, then we're going to be able to basically wipe them out with... And that would give them a taste of... And that would give Frost a taste of their own medicine, because that's what they did to Glenbrook. So it would be pretty wholesome to be able to do that back to them and give them a good old taste of what they did to us.
Prince Roland wishes to defeat the Frosty commanders who unjustly occupy Whiteholm Castle. I see this plan as proof of his resolve. As a member of the Kingsguard, I intend to help him see it through.
Alright, so actually destroying the dam is probably the least likely option. I see Frederica's plan for sure. Okay, this is obvious. I definitely see the plan to negotiate, but I don't know how likely it would be. Because since not just the people, but the warriors themselves seem to be having quite a nice life at Whiteholm Castle, it could be very possible that they wouldn't be negotiated for us to just relinquish it to us. You know, because they're like, hey, life is better under the Archduke. Like, what are you talking about? So, I don't know about that specifically, but destroying the dam and washing away the troops, it is very true what Roland says. It will create the people of not just the Crown City, but from here in the Wolfort domain, if we want to give them somewhere else to live because of all these fights that are breaking out. I believe that our best plan of course, for myself, is to infiltrate the castle and launch a surprise attack. Not only do I feel like that it's the most justifiable, but we can also, I know that the crystal may not be able to sink the warship, but if we can take the land back, it will give us another place to fall back to if we are to succeed in that. So, let's go ahead and see what Eridor has to say first.
Aye, lad.
Destroying the dam is our best shot at winning this battle. The enemy wouldn't know what hit him if we flooded the city. But there's no denying that the other plans have their merits too. Should we go with our best bet, or consider one of the other options?
Okay, so... It sounds like if I can't persuade him, he's gonna go with destroying the bridge and forcing them to negotiate. I do agree that Benedict's plan gives us the most thing for the here and now, but it doesn't really bode well for the near future. And I feel like I need to look at this from the big picture, not exactly for the here and now either. So, let me go ahead and... Okay, so Frederica is completely unable to be swayed. We already know this information. So let's go ahead and talk to Gila first.
Ah, yes?
Alright, let's see here. Call me naive, but I believe Frederica's plan to be the best for... I'm not calling her naive. I see the merit in destroying the bridge. It's just the factor that how are other people supposed to get into the city if we wanted them to move there too? Using the secret passages to infiltrate the castle is the soundest course of action.
I see. I admit I am curious as to why you would choose Prince Roland's plan.
If we sneak into the castle, we may be able to catch the enemy unawares and rescue Queen Cordelia. Well, we don't have any actual knowledge. Well, actually, no. We do actually know that she's alive. That's true. We do know that she's alive. It's just the factor that we don't know her station quite at this point. His plan would allow us to reclaim the crown city unharmed. We could show the people that we mean well. Esfrost needs their ships for both travel and transport. Destroying them now would undoubtedly avail us in future battles. I do see this because we can catch the enemy unaware. Because if we are to sneak into the castle, we could rescue her. And we could also catch her, Avlora off guard. But where do all these paths lead? I guess is the main question. Roland would actually be able to be the only one that knows where these other secret routes happen to go. But, I mean, but this also seems really good because Esfrost does need their ships. And they could easily use that as a way to easily deploy the cannon, right? I mean, we don't know about the cannon yet, but I'm assuming that it would go on the warship, right? And saying we may be able to catch the enemy unaware can also make Gila go, okay, well, maybe we may be able to, yeah, but, like, is that guaranteed? No. So let's go with this one.
Yes, I see.
I see. Even if we reclaim the capital, our fight with Esfrost will continue. And by sinking their warships, we could most certainly deal a heavy blow to their military might. Destroying them now would be in our best interests indeed.
I require some time to think.
There is much more to consider with Prince Roland's plan than I originally thought.
Okay, so it's possible that we persuaded her with that. It sounded like quite a positive response, right? Okay, Benedict is also unable to be swayed. I believe so, right? I believe so. Yep, I have better luck talking to a stone wall, so no, he cannot be persuaded. But Anna, I believe, can be.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. The capital is swarming with Esfrosti soldiers. We must prepare ourselves to make sacrifices if we are to reclaim the city. We're already going to be making sacrifices if we fight them anyway. So, I mean, whether we flood the city or whether we fight them head on in a surprise attack, we're making sacrifices.
So you share Prince Roland's thoughts, even though Esfrost might know about the tunnels?
Only the royal family knows of the tunnels. There is no way Queen Cordelia has revealed their location. The flood would destroy the crown city, whereas stealing into the castle would spare the people harm. And I can think of no one better at covert operations than you, Anna. The enemy is scattered throughout the city and the castle. Inside Whiteholm, a small and elite force would have the advantage over numbers. So this is possible, but we also have to consider that they are commanding officers that are going to be inside these castle walls. And if they are commanding officers, they are going to be stronger than your average soldier. So I don't know if scattered throughout the... I mean, well, it is true that if we infiltrate the castle, then it would be saying that the city... it would spare the people harm. That is very true. We want to give the people a place to go. And we can't quite... I mean, yes, I do agree that sometimes it's not always the numbers of the fight that determine the outcome of a battle. It sometimes just is the sheer might of the people and the pride and the valor that they bring to the fight. But I kind of want to shut down this whole idea by saying that it would destroy the crown city and spare the people. So, and maybe Anna would know how to do that. There is no one better than you, Anna.
The damage would indeed be great. And if you would order it, I would do everything in my power to see you inside.
In that case...
But if we fail, that would avail the people nothing. Is our goal not to oust the Esfrosti forces from the capital? If we had a means to guarantee our victory, I think it would be in everyone's best interest for us to use it.
I need time.
Though the plan is hardly foolproof, I suppose it is still worth considering.
Okay, so I didn't actually manage to persuade her there. I mean, come on, Anna. I mean, it's true that if we don't succeed in our plan, but what? Do you want to harm the people anyway? I mean, even if we're not successful, I mean, we could still not be successful even if we flood the city, because we're still dealing with the people in the castle, and that's what's led by General Avlora. I don't know if I really like that whole idea, but, you know. Alright, Eridor, let's go with you now.
Aye, lad.
Destroying the dam is our bet. Okay, no, I already read that. Sorry. Okay. Benedict's plan gives us our best shot at victory, but Prince Roland's and Lady Frederica's have their merits too. Using the secret passages to infiltrate the castle is the soundest course of action. So you'd go with Prince Roland's plan then? What makes you so sure?
Infiltrating the castle is proof of Roland's resolve as a member of the royal family, and as his vassal, I wish to stand beside him. The duchy's warships are a troublesome force to be reckoned with. It would avail us to destroy them at the soonest opportunity. It is true that this is proof of Roland's resolve, and he would also be able to lead it. But I can't deny that the warships are a troublesome force. I really cannot deny that. I mean, just because of the fact that if they plan to go for Hyzant, that could be a huge bane to them. I mean, and also, if we're only thinking about this from Roland's perspective instead of from our enemy's perspective, we need to weaken the enemy before we start thinking about the future.
I suppose you're thinking ahead to our battle with Goosedolf, eh? It's true that those iron ships give them a special edge in warfare. So destroying them now would not only prevent them from escaping the castle, but also put a dent in the duchy's military might. You're always one step ahead, lad. I'm proud of you.
Tough spot we're in.
You've opened my eyes to the merits of Prince Roland's plan, my lord. It's given me lots to think about. Ooh, that sounded good. Aw, thank you so much, Eridor. Thank you. I mean, I guess I can't really thank him until he places that thing on... But I think that this is the best plan of attack. It protects the people, and it doesn't give us... I mean, negotiating, yes, it's possible that we can persuade them while also protecting the people and also preventing bloodshed. But honestly, if we can't negotiate with them, we are potentially as dead as doornails, guys. So I think that this is our best course of action. It will potentially weaken Esfrost, but I know that the chances of them sinking the warship through this is not guaranteed. I know this. But I can't do any harm to the people anymore, especially when it comes to my people. Alright, without further ado, let us go to the scales. Let's see where fate lets us go.
It is time to cast our votes. In which strategy do we entrust the future of Glenbrook? Approach the scales of conviction with your token at the ready.
I agree wholeheartedly.
After speaking with you, I had a change of heart, my lord.
I cannot agree to this.
My apologies, but my token will fall elsewhere this time.
I'm with you.
You've got my full support, lad. Let's do it your way.
The scales of conviction will illuminate the path we've chosen.
We got it. 4 people with us. Let's launch a surprise attack and give Esfrost what for.
The way forward is decided. We infiltrate the castle via the hidden passage and take the enemy by surprise.
You will steal into the castle and defeat their commanding officers. I see. So Wolfort chooses to walk a wicked path. That makes you no different than Esfrost.
We do not regret the choice we have made.
Then it is time to see it done. It may very well be our best chance at victory. I must return to Hyzant and see Minister Camsel. Next we meet, you will have both of our armies at your backs.
You have my thanks.
We cannot afford to lose this fight. For Norzelia.
I thought this battle was for Glenbrook.
This is not a simple struggle for power, Minister Cyrano. The goddess, the source, iron? The war of 30 years ago comes back to haunt us because the old cling to relics of the past. Norzelia needs to be born anew. Right now, the people of every nation are searching for a young standard-bearer to guide them.
A standard-bearer?
Yes, people like you and me. This war is a fine opportunity for us to show our worth to Norzelia.